I got none other, guys, than Stella from Fractional.
Hello, Stella in the house. Right?
Stella Han is a software engineer turned founder who turned early weekend flips in the Bay Area into Fractional. What started with her flipping houses on the weekend has grown into a $400 million company backed by Y Combinator, Fifth Wall, Will Smith, and Kevin Durant. Today, she's on a mission to make real estate investing simple, social, and acceptable for everyone.
Welcome back to another episode of the Winners Club podcast, where even when we don't win, we learn, and learning is a form of winning. My name is Brian. I'm your host. I got my co-host here, PJ Padua.
What's up, guys?
And I got none other, guys, than Stella from Fractional. She's a young gunner, hitter, smart, attractive, powerful woman that's out there dominating a male space. And now I have her here in our podcast to break it down, show us how she ticks, how she works, her failures and her wins. So let's get right into it. Stella, can you give yourself a little introduction?
Hello, Stella in the house. Right?
Yes.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I'm Stella. I am the co-founder and CEO of Fractional, and we are a platform that helps operators raise money from anyone without having to deal with a lawyer and a CPA and any of that crap. So that is what I'm here to do. We've helped people raise over $400 million on the platform. We've raised money for the business as well, over $20 million from some really great VCs. So here to rock and roll.
Let's go.
Bring it back, because the idea of Fractional, for those of you guys who don't know, it allows not only just like cool investors tap into basically all likes of investors, but mainly from your own community. So people who have like 5,000, 10,000 can invest into big projects, really. And I mean, you're really giving opportunities to everyone, all classes, right? And how did that idea come about? Like, where? I don't even know. How did you come up with the idea, really?
Yeah, it was honestly through a very personal, traumatic experience that I went through myself raising capital. So I have been buying properties out in Atlanta, Georgia, because I don't have $1 million here to buy a shack, unfortunately. Yeah. So out-of-state investing was my thing. I actually bought my very first property out in Atlanta by partnering with other people. So I knew from the get-go just how important it is to form partnerships, leverage other people's money. So that's how I got started, kept ramping up in my game, and eventually found myself in a spot where I'm no longer buying single family and I want to level up and buy multifamily. Yeah. I see this 20-unit apartment that I really like. It costs over $1 million. I look at my bank account, don't have $1 million, right? So I'm like, okay, well, that's the $1 million question is how am I going to get this $1 million? And luckily for me, I am a very vocal person. I tell everyone all the time what I'm up to. So a lot of my friends, my coworkers, they were really excited about the idea of getting into real estate. A lot of them have told me that, if there's ever an opportunity, they would love to partner with me. And that really became like a clicking moment where I'm like, okay, well, if I can get all 40 of my friends who said they want to go in with me on a deal, we can definitely pool together this capital. But the problem that we ran into was that none of my friends, they weren't accredited investors. No one is, a wealthy, rich uncle or anything like that. A lot of them were just a few years out of college, just like me. No one had $100K or $200K to give me, but, everyone had 10, 20, 25. And a lot of the regulations around raising capital is really limiting. Usually it only allows for accredited investors. You have to go file for a PPM, which is like a 90-page cover your ass document, and deal with the SEC and all of that. And that was just not something that I was capable of handling, and I didn't want to go through all of that.
What's an accredited investors for people who don't know what that is?
Yeah. So in super layman terms, it's essentially someone who is extremely wealthy. That's what an accredited investor is. But on a more technical level, you have to have a certain level of income. You can't include your primary residence as part of the assets that you can have. So it is a fairly unattainable level to get. And most investment opportunities you see on the market, it does require you to be an accredited investor to even join. And I think that's so backwards, right? Like that is literally a door right there saying, hey, only the rich are going to get richer. And if you're not rich, like sucks to suck, right? Like you can't get in.
That's kind of, that was backward thinking for me too. Cause I'm like, the rich don't need help. it's the people who are up and coming that need the most help. And so, I mean, in a way, your company is opening and kicking down those doors for people to really learn and grow their wealth exponentially, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you even feel like, I mean, honestly, did you create this out of the kindness of your heart?
Honestly, more for selfish reasons, right? Like
Yeah.
I wanted to make more money. My friends wanted to make more money with me. And we were like, why can't we do this without, having to deal with a lawyer? And even with that, still be just gate kept on a lot of opportunity. And that's when, a model that is more common in the Bay Area, but definitely not common outside of the Bay Area, is this concept of an investment club where people pool their money together to go invest in stocks and invest in, the next Silicon Valley startup, the next Facebook or Google, right? And that in itself is actually not what the SEC counts as a security, because it's active, it's collaborative, and really this security thing, that is the main limiting factor of like how you can raise money. The moment something is a security where, one leader is basically making all the decisions, they're entirely responsible for the outcome of an investment, that's where you get all these restrictions where it's like, it's for accredited investors only, you can't market your deal and things like that. So an investment club is not a security. That means everyone can get involved. You don't even have to deal with a lawyer. And that was really when we saw the golden opportunity where we're like, why is there no investment club for real estate? Like we want to do the same thing where we all pour our capital together. Let's go look at a bunch of deals and then pick which one as a club we want to move forward and deploy our capital on. So that's really where we saw an opportunity in legal structure and also from a technology perspective to streamline the whole thing.
Yeah. So I was at a club on Saturday and I needed to be 21 to get in. In your club, in this investment club, what's the restriction? Do I have to be 18? Do I have to be 21? I don't have to obviously be an accredited investor, but what are some of the, limits and restrictions?
So you do have to be 18.
Okay.
We don't have a bouncer for clubs or anything like that. So as long as you're 18, and really I would say mindset is a big part. Someone who ends up joining an investment club for, anything financially related, I would truly hope that they love the idea of learning and earning, because that's the exact point of magic around doing this is like, hey, we want to be a part of something with other like-minded people where we're going to up-level each other. We're going to really leverage the concept of shared resources, right? Let's share the money that we have. Let's pull it together. Let's pool our brain power together. And, everyone has their own superpower. Maybe Brian, you're really great at underwriting and, you're great at marketing and making content. Those are all very valuable skill sets to have in any sort of investing game, right? So instead of me going on it solo with my own money, with my limited knowledge, with my limited strength, let's pull all that together. Let's form a club and let's go after bigger and better things.
Wow.
Powerful.
Amazing.
PJ, you got a question?
Yeah. So I just want to take it back just a little bit. I mean, you initially said that the idea to create Fractional was, a little bit selfish, right? And, I just want to say to listeners, whether, Stella was just trying to buy a Lambo with her friends, what she did was literally, solve a problem, make it absolutely easier for new investors, right? Even especially the small investors to get some skin in the game and start going. And I think that's amazing. And I know we all heard the statement, right, that if you help people, the money will come. And do you feel like that is still true today with building companies and building successful companies at that?
100%. I always lead with an abundance mindset. I know Brian shares this as well, is you always have to give before you take, because I think every element of doing business and finding great partners, it really comes down to trust, right? So how do you build trust with people? You have to come in with a value first kind of mindset where you give it your all. That really creates really great foundations where people can trust you and feel like they can rely on you. And once that's set, right, you've really just, I think, knocked down a lot of the barriers, especially from a mental capacity where you can really lean on each other and grow together.
Yeah. How long has Fractional been around?
4.5 years.
Wow.
Wow, amazing.
So almost like $100 million a year.
Yep.
My question is, while you were building it, what were some of the struggles? Like, was it finding lawyers? Because I mean, you made it so easy and seamless. And guys, I've actually used Fractional to raise money for some of our projects, so I can see like it's dialed in and it's really professional and seamless.
How much did you guys raise?
I think 200 or $250,000.
Wow.
Something like that. Yeah, just
Quick too, huh?
quick. But like somebody who's listening, they're probably thinking like, well, I don't know how to do the paperwork. I don't know all the lingos like she said. Did you know all that before like starting this company, or did you learn along the way?
So I learned from my personal experience doing that raise myself, just all the shit show that goes behind
Super
raising
scrappy.
capital. Yeah, and one of the things that really sucked is, in the traditional capital raising process, you are stuck working with a lawyer to create that 90-page cover your ass PPM and file for, these exemptions with the SEC, and that alone takes 3 to 4 weeks. But what sucks is you have a deal under contract that is also closing in 3 or 4 weeks, right? So it's like, wait, I can't even raise the capital because I'm stuck trying to file the stuff.
Yeah.
But then I need the capital to be at the closing table in 3 to 4 weeks too. Like, that's where the math isn't mathing, right? And that was such a personal pain point for me. And just the amount of energy spent herding the cats, chasing down all these investors. And I actually had a raise where I was 2 days before closing, and half the investors who verbally told me that they were going to invest in my deal, they just ghosted me and didn't send me the wire. And I ended up losing that deal and my EMD, which was tens of thousands of dollars. So it was a lot of going through the pains myself as a real estate investor, raising capital and scaling. And I have a software engineering background, so I'm a software engineer by trade. And that builder mindset in me was like, there's got to be a better way to address this. We need technology. We can streamline so many of the back office parts. And we were really lucky to have met the former senior counsel of the SEC. He was part of our network as in Y Combinator, which is the accelerator that we ended up joining. So he co-developed a lot of the legal frameworks with us, which was just huge.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's really how we kick things off. Is I think we brought a lot of just very unique founder market fit from an operator, capital raising technology perspective, and then obviously with the former senior counsel of the SEC, that checked all the boxes from a legal and compliance perspective.
Wow.
Not how, but who.
Yeah.
That's the lesson that I've been hammering this year. It's like, you don't have to know it all.
Yeah.
You just have to know who can do it all.
For sure. And I think that's, to me, like, that's an amazing story, because that just shows like this is the reason why networking is amazing and why everybody talks about, your net worth is your network, or sorry, your network is your net worth. Right. And I think that's absolutely amazing. So kudos to that.
Tell me more. How big is the fractional team? Like, is it, because I feel like it's pretty lean.
Yeah, we are lean and mean. We are 15 people right now.
Wow. And they're all virtual.
We are a remote first company. So we started as a pandemic baby. So Fractional was founded in 2021. So everything was remote. We just stuck with it, rolled with it, and that's how we built pretty much our core team. And a lot of our original members are still part of the team now. So that's also been an interesting internal debate, is like, we would love to bring people in person, but, our founding members are very dear to us. So I think that shift is a little bit difficult. So we've just decided to just tackle it face on as remote first.
Speaking about difficult, you came from a software engineering background. Did you run teams? Did you have a bunch of people reporting to you before this role as CEO and founder of Fractional?
Not quite. So I was a software team lead on just the building side. So there were leadership opportunities. And I think I always knew that I wanted to do something of my own at some point. So even though it wasn't necessarily like from a software engineering capacity, I actively seeked opportunities where I could build myself up as a leader. So even in college, I joined the entrepreneurship club, eventually ran that, and then try to surround myself with other founders early on to, see what they were doing. And I think it's just, luck is part of it, but I think people who take advantage of luck are the ones that are ready. So that's always been my mindset is, even if I'm not lucky now, how do I build myself up such that when luck does come to me, I am, multiplying that, 100x.
Yeah, I really love that. That was amazing. I mean, Stella, I really just, I love having conversations with you because you are just a difference maker. And that's something I think is like really important in this world, right? But I want to ask you, like, where did this like belief in that, like, hey, I can make a difference in the world, I can make a difference in my life, like, where did that come from? Where did it stem from?
I think I am a very impact-driven person. I love to see myself create results, and I am not someone that like wants to build something for the sake of doing it. Mm-hmm. That's why like I didn't immediately start a company coming out of college. Like I didn't really feel like I had a true calling then, where it's like there's a very unique problem that only I can solve. So my approach then was like, okay, well then let me just be a part of a rocket ship where I can just pick up on all these skills such that when that calling does come, I'm ready for it. And that really was the moment with Fractional where it's like, wow, I've lived through all these pains myself. I know exactly how to solve it. I believe that I have the right skill sets to do it. And I found amazing partners who can cover all the gaps of what I have. Like this has to be the moment. It's now or never. Yeah. And that just led me to take that leap of faith.
I love that. I think it's like, it seems like just a massive amount of like self-awareness that's like, you're already just doing the actions. And when you kind of just look around, you're like, wow, I have all the pieces. I have the power now to just put them together and just run with it. The universe wants me to, basically, is what I hear.
I want us to go a little deeper now because you're now raising 400 million. You're the founder. I mean, you're running around. I see you. You're working. You're on multiple Zoom calls. You're traveling to get on people's podcasts to promote your company. You're screaming from the rooftop. Are you dating right now?
Yes, I'm dating.
Oh, is your partner also like a founder, CEO kind of role, or?
Not quite. I would say he is entrepreneurial minded, but definitely not in the thick of it as much as me. Yeah. I generally like to take a more balanced approach on the personal side where I think even it has, ties on how you even think about like your financial portfolio. It's like you want a balanced portfolio, and I see it as like I want a balanced life too, right? Like I think I want someone who can take a chill with me when I'm not trying to be on 200% grind mode all the time. And, if things don't go well, they're not going to, be also super anxious about it, just like how I am. So it's like, we share enough values where he can truly understand, like, why am I so passionate and why do I really want to do this? But then at the same time, also, pull me in other ways where I kind of need a little bit of a external factor to draw back sometimes.
Wow. People always think it's random when I ask them about the partnership, but to be honest with you, the partnership is actually fundamental in the growth of any company. Because if you're not secure at home, you're not going to be secure on the job site, right? And most of the time with builders, and luckily I'm married, my wife has been very supportive over the last 10 years because I wasn't home a lot. I was out grinding, I was out networking, I was out doing what I had to do to raise capital and build and create this lifestyle that we have today. But she was understanding, and not everybody's understanding. And I always say this, that if she wasn't, I would have been hit with a crossroad whether, okay, I got to stop my dreams and pursue family, or I, pursue business and lose the family. And so that's why I bring this up, and I'm going to go a little bit deeper, because I think people need to understand that your partner, your wife, your husband, whatever it is, or your boyfriend, your girlfriend, can actually be very pivotal in your success. They can either throttle you or, allow you to go full steam ahead and have, knowing that you have a good foundation back home, boom, you can run and go do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm only able to invest crazy and be ballsy was because in the beginning, my wife was more stable.
Yeah. I really like what you're saying, man, because, me and Brian, we say it all the time. We say business and relationships and everything, it's all universal. They're all based off the same principles, right? Like, I want to ask you, Stella, obviously, you knew what you wanted in your relationship and in your business. Did you have to communicate with your partner, or did it come, like, a little natural?
I think it came more naturally just as a form of self-selection.
Yeah.
I think it's I think I come across pretty obvious, like what type of person I am and what I'm striving for. So when that energy doesn't vibe immediately, it's almost like self-selecting, and that, you know, it won't really be a good fit. So I feel like naturally similar energies or energies that understand each other, they will naturally attract. And then because of that, it's just so much easier to have these candid conversations.
I agree. Let me ask, if it changed, what would you do?
People change.
Yeah. What do you do?
People do change.
What if they're like, no more? I don't want you to founder no more. What do you do?
You guys are like, let's make it a lot harder. You guys are now 5 years in the relationship. You guys are like, he's met your parents. Hell, you know, you guys are embedded. Now what do you do?
What do you do?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, I think it's always important to try as hard as you can to work on things, right, and see if you can add or find some sort of alignment. But I do think, I mean, this sounds very cold and blunt, but there is also a point in life where if you've given it your all and both sides have, and you can't find alignment, then you kind of do need to draw a line in the sand where if you can't make a decision from there on, it's all kind of sunken cost, right? Where, you know, as much as I would see that as like, I'm also chaining him down from the life that he wants, right?
Yeah,
if
exactly.
he wants different things. So I think it'll be a hard decision, but you kind of do have to make it if you've given your all and it's not working out.
Yeah, for sure.
Spoken like a real entrepreneur.
And you have to, like, I would assume before you leave him, you guys would communicate, right? And address the problem at least face to face a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Just like in business, right? If you don't say, oh shit, Brian, we got problems going on, I don't tell you, like, dude, the problems are just going to go on forever, right? Yeah. And it's just the same. It's like, why not communicate? If something's bad in your company, why not communicate? If you don't like something, you feel like it could be better, why not try to contribute or try to find the people that could help change it, right? Universal. Business
communication is probably one of the top 3 skills you must have to be successful in life.
Yes.
I always find that the people who cannot communicate their thoughts, their reasoning, are usually the ones that have the most problems. But those who can and those who take the time to communicate and learn that skill very well, I mean, you just look at them like glide through life.
Yeah.
So, guys, go learn some communication. I actually have an AA in communication.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
You're great. I'm sorry for laughing.
I went to Ohlone College in Fremont.
Hey.
I did, yeah. I learned to communicate.
Shoot,
I actually didn't learn anything, but
the first time that I dropped out of college, I took one public speaking class.
There you go.
And I think it's helped me, to be honest. So yeah, shout out to college. But
yeah, I mean, that is something that I've really learned going through the entrepreneurial journey is really around communication. And I always thought back when I was a software engineer that I am a great communicator. I think within the software engineers, like, I think I'm decently good.
I PM'd you already, so we're communicating.
But then, you know, flip on the entrepreneur life, like, you realize that communication is so much more than being able to clearly express your thoughts and saying things logically. Like, there is a whole element of storytelling that was so foreign to me. And that was like such a big shift in mindset for how I communicate. Is like, it's not just facts and logic. Like, you got to make a story that is empowering and motivating, that people actually resonate with on a personal level. And I feel like you guys do just a phenomenal job at that.
Oh, thank you.
I try.
We try. I mean, like, it's a good mix, you know? He likes to have fun. I like to, you know, share the tearjerker stories and also have a little fun.
He cries a lot. That's naturally, he cries a lot.
Yeah, I kind of cried last night, and I was like...
So he's deeply emotional.
Yeah. I want to switch it up a little bit. I want to ask you, Stella, can you tell us, like, a very, like, your favorite story, like, the most happiest, fulfilling story about, like, helping out a client or somebody through Fractional?
Yeah, so I think one of the most powerful things I've seen is just someone's growth in who they are as an investor and as a person. So the earliest entry point as an investor you have with Fractional is you're an end investor. So this isn't someone who's raising capital. This is someone who, you know, maybe it's just getting started in real estate investing. That was the case for this person. You know, they didn't want to put all their eggs in one basket for their very first deal. So that's why they were appealed by the concept of Fractional. It's like, hey, I only have $10,000. Can I go invest it with, you know, Pace Morby, who is someone that I really trust and I'm already learning from. So that's how they basically did their first deal, and that really put them